Tonight, reverberations from the police chase involving a stolen car that killed one jogger and hospitalized another. Families, friends, and the Little Rock police now facing new challenges. Plus, a judge orders video released of a near tragic accident on a Cedarville school ground. And highlights of the second GOP presidential debate. Here's a hint. No one was playing nice.
Now, from Arkansas's News and Information Center, this is THV 11 News at 10.
What you're seeing right now is video from a memorial held earlier this evening. Friends, family, and supporters all came out to Chico Road to honor the Hortons.
Last night, mother Trindia and daughter Natalie were hit during a police chase. Trindia died at the scene and Natalie taken to the hospital.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Denise Middleton.
And I'm Craig O'Neill. And today, police held a press conference to fill the public in on what exactly happened last night in that deadly police chase.
Right now, many of the details are being withheld to avoid affecting the investigation. Here's what we do know. Officer Zachary Hartman, who is now on administrative leave, pursued a suspect in an alleged stolen vehicle on Baseline Road.
Shortly after the suspect lost control of the car, he hit two female pedestrians on Chico Road. The driver, identified as 24-year-old Jordan Vandenberg. Police say the person hit and killed was 39-year-old Trindia Horton, as we mentioned, and injured her 19-year-old daughter, Natalie.
As for Hartman's leave, police say it's standard protocol following an officer's involvement in a significant incident. Tonight, we are looking further into what's ahead for him and the Little Rock Police Department.
LRPD hasn't said much about the investigation, only that this is standard protocol. And THV 11's Dan Grossman covered the events live last night and has the update on the story tonight.
Well, Craig and Denise, reconstructionists were at the scene last night to figure out crucial details in this case, including how fast the vehicles were traveling and if this officer followed protocol when dealing with pursuits.
The police department's policy for pursuits are very, very detailed.
9 pages of rules guide Little Rock police on pursuits.
It's called a Title 42, Section 1983 civil rights violation.
As a way to protect public safety and ensure laws like the one attorney Hal Cook just said don't get broken.
2014 case involved the unreasonable use of force by a West Memphis police officer.
The statute has been around since 1871, but honed in on Arkansas last year after a court sided with the West Memphis Police Department following a 2004 shooting after a high-speed chase.
That there has to be an objective reasonableness standard with which police department and police pursuits are judged.
In Tuesday's hit and run, only one officer was pursuing the stolen car, which follows code. The department says nothing suggests the pursuing officer broke from that code, but things that will be looked at in the coming days are speed, whether or not that officer authorized that chase, and whether he knew the suspect's identity.
Mainly policies are developed in the best interest of the public.
Little Rock Police Department rules say pursuits must be stopped under 6 conditions, some of which include when a supervisor orders it, when the officer knows the suspect is wanted for a traffic violation, misdemeanor, or nonviolent felony, and presence of unreasonable danger.
And whether the standard is going to be judged by a court as being a reasonable standard to subject the public to any type of danger.
All of which will be cross-referenced with whether it was acceptable for the officer to break the code. And again, this is just the process of what the department will go through in the coming weeks as more details about the specifics of the chase emerge. There is dash cam video of this pursuit, and the police department says it will be released to us within the coming week. Guys.
All right, Dan, thank you. Meanwhile, the family and neighbors still in shock tonight. One neighbor has placed mementos on the side of the road to keep Trindia Horton's memory alive.
And in the midst of their grieving, the family's biggest concern is the department's pursuit policy. But as the investigation continues, the father of Trindia Horton looks back, remembering the woman she was.
I was shocked because, like I say, I just, you never think your child gonna be killed in an accident or anything. And everybody loved her from what I, seen and stuff, and she was real special to all of us.
Penn says Trindia is survived by a son, daughter, and grandchild. Tonight, we've heard daughter Natalie is in stable condition at a nearby hospital.
In the weather world, everything is kind of quiet and not much in the way of any kind of change other than a little bit more humidity out there tonight and a few more clouds. Here's a look at the satellite view. You can see mostly clear skies around the state, a few low clouds trying to develop down toward our south. Temperatures are much warmer than they've been this time in the past few evenings. It's 74 in Arkadelphia, still 80 in Texarkana, 73 Mena, 79 in Fort Smith, a little bit cooler in Jonesboro, there at 68. And that's where the cooler air will reside tonight. For us here, we'll see a low near 70, the rain pretty much out of the forecast. 90 the high tomorrow with another 20% chance of an isolated thunderstorm. Now, temperatures will continue to warm before another cold front. I'll tell you when that front will arrive coming up in weather.
All right, Ed, thank you. The second debate between Republican presidential candidates is now history.
The top 11 candidates, according to national polls, faced off at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, California tonight. And CBS's Craig Boswell has the details.
The 11 candidates with the highest poll numbers took the stage for the second primetime Republican debate. The first topic, frontrunner Donald Trump.
I think his response, his visceral response to attack people on their appearance, short, tall, fat, ugly. My goodness, that happened in junior high. Are we not way above that?
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there.
Jeb Bush criticized Trump's plan for immigration reform.
Are we going to take the Reagan approach, the hopeful, optimistic approach, the approach that says that you come to our country legally, you pursue your dreams with a vengeance, you create opportunities for all of us, or the Donald Trump approach, the approach that says that everything is bad?
Retired neurosurgeon Ben Carson, who's number 2 in the polls, said he would allow some illegal immigrants to stay.
People who had a pristine record, we should consider allowing them to become guest workers primarily in the agricultural sphere.
This was businesswoman Carly Fiorina's first primetime debate. She called on Republicans to submit a budget defunding Planned Parenthood despite a veto threat.
This is about the character of our nation. And if we will not stand up and force President Obama to veto this bill, shame on us.
The candidates also debated the Iran nuclear deal and relations with Russia. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Simi Valley, California.
Now, the next Republican debate will be held October 26th and will focus primarily on the economy. Now, the Democrats are set to take the stage for the first time October 13th.
The Cedarville School District releases surveillance video from the night a 7-year-old boy was severely injured on a playground, which was under construction. As a warning, some may find this video hard to watch. A judge ordered the video's release after the family filed a Freedom of Information request lawsuit. At the back of the playground, you can see Zach Moore grab onto a bench. It's leaning against a fence. Then the bench topples over on him. The family's attorney says the bench weighed between 60 to 70 pounds and was eventually going to be put into the ground. He also says the school cannot be held responsible for the accident because it's the responsibility of the construction company to secure the site. The family is working with Zach on his recovery. They posted this video of him out of his wheelchair walking.
Batesville police reviewing protocol after a false active shooter alert at the local high school. The school was on lockdown this morning, but all the commotion was due to an accidental 911 call from a student. The local dispatch tracked the GPS location of the call at the school, and when the student didn't respond, the dispatcher made a quick decision that resulted in police surrounding the area.
If it is a real instance, it is a real crisis, I would much rather have the people there than ignore it as if it were a false call.
Now, while this was a false alarm, other school safety experts say it was the right call. The Batesville Police Department and the county dispatcher's office plan to meet Monday morning to discuss protocol in these types of situations. The chief says this was the first active shooter notification they have ever received.
One of the defendants charged in the Cogdell murder out of Conway has waived his 6th Amendment rights. Hunter Drexler turned 18 on Monday and was transferred to the adult side of the Faulkner County Detention Center.
His attorney says he's worried inmates may come forward with false claims of his confessions. Drexler has now signed an order allowing anyone at the jail to secretly record him and use those tapes against him in court.
The ex-boyfriend of a pregnant woman who was shot to death in June pleads not guilty to capital murder. Quentin King was arrested in July and charged with 2 counts of capital murder for the death of Megan Price and her unborn child.
Police said Price was 8 months pregnant when she died. A bond hearing is set for King, and that's scheduled for October 26th. It's a story we have been following for months now. The state decided to take control of the Little Rock School District. In the process, 7 board members were removed from their positions.
And now their supporters mark the 1-year anniversary of their election and mourn what they call the loss of their democracy. THV 11's Macy Jenkins was there and brings us more. Macy.
Well, Denise and Craig, good evening. Tonight they shouted, "We shall not be moved." Parents, students, and teachers say they're fighting for equal education, unhappy about the loss of their elected representatives.
We shall not be moved just like the tree that's planted by the water.
Side by side, hand in hand, LRSD supporters have a message for the State Board of Education.
We want them to recognize that their leadership is not any leadership at all.
Wearing all black, they mourn what they call the loss of their democracy.
I even got out there and campaigned and held signs. Sometime. It was really disheartening to find that my vote had been negated in that way. 7 tombstones brought to the steps of district headquarters, each symbolizing the loss of an elected school board member.
We have to overcome that, what has been taken away from us. And if we keep at it, eventually we're going to get it back.
Even the young ones.
I want it to Little Rock to be a district again.
Feel the magnitude of every chant and every word spoken. Many longtime members of the community are frustrated with what's happening in their schools.
When a first grade kid cannot read first grade material, they send them to the 2nd grade. And by the time they quit school, they're going into Cummins prison.
Others long for the former board members they say were on their side.
I knew my school board members, and when I had a problem, I could call them. And I can't do that anymore.
After the state takeover, those board members lost their positions, leaving many parents to feel like they don't have a say in the future of the district.
Since January the 28th of this year, we still don't have a plan from the Arkansas Department of Education. There's not been a plan that's been rolled out from the Little Rock School District, and so we need to do something immediately.
Now, people in the crowd tonight say the fight is far from over, and they told me they're eager to hear from Education Commissioner Johnny Key. Their main question, what's next for LRSD? Denise and Craig.
All right, Melissa, thank you. THV 11's Big Dam Bridge training is heating up.
Our very own Dawn Scott has been prepping through early morning bike rides. More on her training, which Denise and I hear a lot about, coming up.